So, welcome to the closing session of the 8th World Congress on Conservation Agriculture. Dear speakers of the opening session and keynote speakers, dear panelists who participated in the panels of the farmers, the private sector and public sector, and the civil society, dear colleagues from all around the world who shared with the audience their work, their ideas, and their approaches and findings under the very different conditions we encounter all around the different continents. Without your commitment and support, we would not have been able to attract the interest of 783 participants, 23% of them women, from all the continents and from 108 countries. We registered peaks of attendance in the live stream of around 700 on the first day, in the plenary sessions and of around 650 and 450 in the parallel sessions of days 2 and 3. We received almost 200 submissions of papers that resulted, in the end, in around 140 oral presentations and posters from almost 50 countries. The planning of this Congress was quite a long-lasting process. As you all know, it should have taken place 1 year ago in Bern, when we had to take the decision to postpone it for 1 year, so to have it as a real presential Congress. But soon we had the impression that even 1 year later, there wouldn't exist conditions to allow traveling and to guarantee a significant attendance at the Congress. And so, all the planning needed to change. We still prepared activities at the end of last year, which we called the Road to the 8th World Congress on Conservation Agriculture, and which comprised webinars on the 4 sub-themes and regional roundtable discussions within several regions throughout the world. And early, we started to prepare this Congress as an online event, which required significant changes. Of course, we are aware that we would not have reached and been able to bring 800 participants to Bern, but still a personal exchange with less people would have been an added value. But we can't change reality, and I think we were able to make the best out of the situation the pandemic has caused. Luckily, our friends from Swiss No-Till insisted in finding ways to organize presential 2 field days taking place tomorrow and on Friday with more intensity, but they already started at the beginning of June. And we know that the field visits occurred so far were a big success. I'm also curious to see all this tomorrow. I still want to thank warm-heartedly to all who contributed to the success of this event, whether on the backstage or at the front. And I believe they were many who dedicated many hours to have this organized and make it happen. Many thanks. And now we come to the awards for the best oral presentations and posters. And for that, I pass over to Emilio Gonzalez, who coordinated this process. I'm sure that this was not an easy task for the jury. Emilio, please take over.
Sorry, thank you very much, Gottlieb, and thank you to all the chairs and rapporteurs that have helped us to decide and to choose the best oral presentations and the best posters that have been presented at the 8th World Congress on Conservation Agriculture. As you may have listened to me at the beginning, we have just received some final communications. So, but we have gathered the best in the next presentation. Can you please? I will use. So, starting with the best oral presentations, I have to say that we have selected more in some of the sub-themes because there were much more contributions to those. So starting from the very beginning, in the first sub-theme, we have Brendan Brown, and I won't read the title of the presentation, and I will congratulate all the people I'm going to name from now on. So Brendan Brown and sub-theme 1, also Telmo Amado in this subtheme 1. In subtheme 2, we have G.H. Pasinato. Subtheme 2, we also have Vladislav Minin. In subtheme 2 as well, we have Jassi Jako Napi. And the subtheme 2, another one is Linda Muzangwa. In subtheme 3, we have Gottlieb Basch. In subtheme 3, it's myself. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and rapporteurs. Subtheme 4, we have Jon Landers. Congratulations also to Gernot Bodner. Also in subtheme 4, congratulations for Chris Cavallaris. And also to Mari Bartz. And we will also have Marie-Therese Gassler as an awarded in this subtheme. As best posters, we will have we have chosen 2 posters per each subtheme. So in subtheme 1, the one of the best posters have been the lead author is Tamara Jackson. We have Falberni de Souza Costa, also in subtheme 1, the successful experiences and learning from conservation agriculture. In subtheme 2, which is the farm and ecosystem level, we have benefits of CA. We have M. Shadel. We have also in subtheme 2, Emma Karki. Subtheme 3, we have Chiquinquirá Ontoria. This is in the mainstream of CA. Oscar Beroz Gonzalez as well is one of the poster awarded. In subtheme 4, we have Madrat Balats in the promoting CA-based knowledge. And we have also in subtheme 4, Gerard Ras as one of the awarded posters. And let me finalize letting you all know that we have a special issue running in the agronomy journal. It's a Q1 ranked at the journal citation reports. We have until the end of the month, almost the end of the next month, end of July, but we might ask for an extension period. But if you are interested, anybody, not only the ones who have received awards, anybody who has contributed to the World Congress, if you want to send your proposal, your manuscript to the journal, you have the link there and you can get in touch with us. We hope that we will produce a nice special issue and that we spread the results of the World Congress even more. Congratulations to everybody, but also congratulations to everybody that to the awards, but also to the awarded people, but also to those that have shared your knowledge and has helped us to understand and learn more from conservation agriculture from all parts of the world. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. That's all.
Okay. Thank you, Emilio. No, I'm on already. Okay. Thank you, Emilio, for announcing the awards of best presentations and posters. Well, I wouldn't expect to be nominated, but well, never mind. Now we are coming to the Congress Declaration, which you all know is an important part of these congresses because they set a kind of, well, roadmap, milestone, you name it. It's a document that I will present here now briefly, but who in full is much longer, but I wouldn't dare to read it right now. I read the short version, which still has on written pages 5. This Congress Declaration was actually drafted by a committee of 12 members, and which was established to oversee the preparation of the declaration. Who contributed then to the drafting of this declaration? Myself, Emilio González Sánchez, Amir Kassam, Wolfgang Sturny, Theo Friedrich, Sir Tuiker, Rafael Fuentes, Roberto Peretti, Saidi Mkomba, Rashid Mravé, Enamul Haq, Li Hongweng, Joseph Kinsle, and Hafiz Munianov. Well, I will read now the draft declaration, which you can follow on the screen to make it a bit easier for you. So I think I can go ahead with the slides, correct? So the 8th World Congress on Conservation Agriculture was held virtually on 21st to 23rd of June 2021 in Bern, Switzerland, and attended by 784 participants from farmer associations, international organizations, scientific institutions, private sector, non-governmental and civil society organizations from more than 80 countries, from the developed and developing world. The main objective of the 8th World Congress was to celebrate the conservation agriculture community's success as the driver of the biggest farming revolution to have occurred in our lifetimes, and to build on this and boost the quality and speed of this transformation globally towards sustainable agri-food systems in support of the sustainable development and the international climate goals. Naturally grown soil is a limited, scarce, non-renewable resource. It is the base for the production of healthy food and native wood, a buffer element for the global hydrological cycle, filter substrate for pure drinking water, global carbon store, habitat of a huge biodiversity, and element of attractive landscapes. At the interface of atmosphere, hydrosphere, and lithosphere, the soil fulfills indispensable ecological and economic functions. The future of the world's food security requires soils which are unpolluted, of stable structure and productive. In short, a sustainable soil management. Conservation agriculture and its many locally adapted variants offer the best means of using soils for productive farming while enhancing their ability to fulfill their vital functions. Accumulated positive experiences and scientific knowledge about conservation agriculture are leading to its rapid adoption worldwide. Farmers now apply CA on over 200 million hectares, which is around 15% of the world's annual cropland area, in over 100 countries across a diverse range of agroecological zones and farm sizes, particularly in Africa, Asia, and Europe. It has enhanced farm production and reduced costs while conserving and enhancing the natural resources of land, water, biodiversity, and climate. In contrast, conventional tillage practices are not ecologically sustainable since they degrade the land by destroying soil structure, reduce soil organic matter content, cause soil compaction, increase runoff and erosion, and contaminate water bodies with pollutants and sediments, threatening land productivity, environment, and human health. In addition, they produce unacceptable levels of greenhouse gas emissions, speeding up climate change. Worldwide, they have accelerated degradation of many natural ecosystems, decreased biodiversity, and increased risks of desertification. CA avoids many of the negative consequences of conventional tillage agriculture by replicating natural processes through the continuous avoidance of soil tillage, permanent maintenance of a soil mulch cover through which crops are directly seeded or planted and rainfall can enter the soil and be retained, cutting erosion. CA enhances the crop root environment, soil structure, nutrients, and moisture, and cuts the buildup of pests and diseases. In these ways, CA results in a productive agriculture for food security and improved rural livelihoods, especially women's welfare, since they provide a high proportion of agricultural labor. Its many economic, social, and environmental benefits justify a fundamental reappraisal of common farming methods. This Congress has confirmed that CA is here to stay. It has shown that the CA community is in very good health, full of energy and new ideas. It has confirmed that the validity of the community's ways of operating with farmers in the driving seat innovating, sharing experiences, spreading the word, and creating demands for supportive services from the public and private sectors. All of us who have participated feel proud of our community's achievements and are determined to do everything within our power and working with others who share our determination to contribute to the emergence of a truly sustainable future of farming worldwide. We are confident that the millions of farmers whom we have sought to represent here will echo our commitment. We call upon politicians, international institutions, environmentalists, farmers, private industry, and society as a whole to recognize that the conservation of natural resources is the co-responsibility, past, present, and future, of all sectors of society in the proportion that they consume products resulting from the exploitation of these resources, noting the increasing interest in plant-based diets to improve human and planetary health. Further, it calls on society through these stakeholders to conceive and enact appropriate long-term strategies and to support further development and embrace the concepts of CA as a fundamental element in achieving agricultural-related sustainable development goals, including those with a social and economic perspective and those of ensuring the continuity of the land's ongoing capacities to yield food, other agricultural products, water, and environmental services in perpetuity. It follows that the environmental services provided by farmers who nurture soil health should be recognized and recompensed by society. Now we come to an action plan. The Congress participants declare their commitment to engage the CA community in achieving the following goal and to taking the actions needed for this. What's the goal? Given the urgent need to accelerate the global move to sustainable food systems, the Congress agreed that the CA community should aim at bringing at least 50% of the global cropland area, or 700 million hectares, under good quality CA systems by 2050. These holistic CA systems would involve CA farmers in engaging progressively in the full array of sustainable approaches to farming, adapted to their ecological and social conditions so as to maximize the sustainability benefits of growing crops without tillage. What are the practical actions behind this? To achieve the goal, a massive boost should be injected into the momentum of the CA community's activities with a concentration on the following 6 themes. Catalyzing the formation of additional farmer-run CA groups in countries and regions in which they do not yet exist, and enabling all groups to accelerate CA adoption and enhancement. Second, greatly speeding up the invention and the mainstreaming of a growing array of truly sustainable CA-based technologies, including through engaging with other movements committed to sustainable farming. Third, embedding the CA community in the main goal efforts to shift to sustainable food management and governance systems and replicating the arrangements at local levels. Fourth, assuring that CA farmers are justly rewarded for their generation of public goods and environmental services. Fifth, mobilizing recognition, institutional support, and additional funding from governments and international development institutions to support CA program expansion. Sixth, building global public awareness of the steps being taken by our CA community to make food production and consumption sustainable. In order to facilitate the implementation of above thematic activities, the Congress endorses the need to first operate the global CA community of practice as an independent non-profit mechanism with ongoing hosting support of ECAF and patronage by FAO, and with an advisory panel and authorized to set up task forces and working groups to help implement the priority practical actions. B, strengthen the CA community of practice moderator capacity within the CA community. And C, the creation of a CA Hall of Fame in the time for the ninth World Congress. It would also oversee and support future processes for convening CA World Congresses. The global CA community of practice would require a permanent IT systems development and operating capacity with sound financial management, program monitoring, and reporting capacities. The Congress participants feel confident that much of the extended moderation function can continue to be provided by CA community participants who are willing to provide their knowledge, expertise, time, and energy on a voluntary basis. This Congress has reinforced our conviction that it's entirely possible to meet the global goal of making our food system sustainable in every sense of the word, and that our community has a vital role to play in this transformation. Our own experience shows that farming can quickly respond to new challenges when farmers see that these are in their own interests. Our aim is to engage our whole community as quickly as possible in creating and spreading optimal and profitable low input, high output CA-based farming systems that are dependent on biological forms of crop protection and plant nutrition management with maximum energy efficiency and minimal use of externally sourced inputs. This approach shows our commitment to making all we do together in future still better than we now do. We pledge to work at all levels with all who share this vision of farming for the future, seeking their guidance and sharing what we learn with them. And we will also partner with those who champion complementary changes in downstream elements of the food chain to bring to healthy nutrition for all people and the elimination of food waste. Healthy soils are the very heart of healthy lives and a healthy planet. Now we come to a few suggestions of specific action areas which are actually an open list and to which we want that all of you contribute to extend these lists beyond what we already started to draft. So please read this carefully at the end of the Congress declaration, and we invite you all to make further suggestions that can be added to the list and which will constitute area of importance in different parts of the work on different topics. Farmers' associations and networks should be encouraged and reinforced at national and international levels as the most effective bottom-up means of disseminating and developing CA. Second, benefits of CA, such increased land productivity, diversification prospects, and increased profits for smallholders and large-scale farmers should be drawn to the attention of national and international communities, as well as global benefits on land resources, health, and environment. Third, given the major information, experience, capacities, and tools concerning CA are available in Latin America and are quickly developing in Africa, Asia, and Europe, international organizations should encourage South-South and South-North cooperation for development programs to make greater use of the available knowledge and expertise. The private and the public sectors, as well as NGOs and civil society, should actively collaborate in the development with farmers of the technologies needed to achieve CA, such as adapted and accessible information, practices, tools, seeds, and safe use of chemicals when needed. Of particular importance in this context are technologies for a CA-oriented sustainable agricultural mechanization, including related agri-hire services and businesses, with the potential of new jobs and increasing attractiveness of farming with specific focus on smallholder farmers, particularly in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. Fifth, greater attention should be given to transform paddy rice systems into CA systems, as well as to integrating legumes and cover crops, trees and shrubs, and perennial systems such as orchards and plantations into CA systems. Six, increased support needs to be provided to strengthen CA centers of excellence worldwide, as well as the use of communication and information technologies and digital tools to maximize the generation, sharing, and application of CA knowledge and expertise. Seventh, the role of the public sector should be to promote CA as an institutional policy framework with interagency working agreements to provide appropriate support from public sources for the adoption of CA. This is also to recognize the public benefits of CA, including fight against climate change, the conservation of natural resources, the protection of the environment, the reduction of flooding and damage to civil infrastructure, among others, which result from the farmer-private initiative. It is also to recompense farmers for this service and help him to face the costs necessary to make the transition, especially the purchase of machinery and implements conducive to CA, which farmers may not be able to initially afford. To fund appropriate key research and advisory service with the private sector, to support access to appropriate knowledge through the development of training and capacity building sessions for farmers, advisors, institutions, etc. It is also to implement information campaigns, policies, and activities to encourage CA and appropriate private investment into this area, as well as to discourage inappropriate practices. To provide appropriate infrastructures to facilitate the transport, processing, distribution, and if necessary, the exportation of the surplus production. To support adoption and continuity of CA managed at local level through legislation, incentives, and investment support. These measures should be linked with existing legislation and other appropriate instruments such as the UN FCCC, UN CCD, UN CBD. I guess you all know these programs and their programs, these organizations and their programs. Contributions should be made to the work of international conventions. Also, a special synergy with the IPCC, the International Panel on Climate Change, and carbon-related initiatives should be examined so that carbon sequestration via CA could become a substantial incentive to make it happen. And finally, the representatives of the various stakeholders attending the Congress should develop partnership and take commitments to design, plan, and implement actions, as well as monitoring procedures in order to be able to present them and eventually some results during the 9th World Congress on Conservation Agriculture in 2024. And with this said, I invite now the chair of the BIT committee for the next World Congress on Conservation Agriculture, Theo Friedrich, to talk about a bit this process of the selection of the next venue of the World Congress in Conservation Agriculture. Please, Theo, it's your turn now.
Thank you, Gottlieb. It is actually my preferred part of any World Congress on Conservation Agriculture because it shows that even after 20 years, this process is alive and vibrant, and countries continue competing to host a World Congress on Conservation Agriculture, despite the cost and effort and burden which it considers to the host. As in all preceding World Congresses, we had a committee established by the organizers of the actual Congress to to organize a bid process and to select the winning bid for the next World Congress. The committee consisted of 10 members from around the world and different organizations. And as Gottlieb mentioned, I have the honor to chair this committee. Earlier this year, we made an international call to the CA community for bids according to 10 criteria which were published. We received a number of expressions of interest from different countries and different continents. And finally, we received 2 formal bids according to the 10 criteria set out in the bid. These bids were studied by each member, and on 1st of June, we had a virtual meeting of all the committee members to discuss our findings on the evaluation of these received bids. And we reached a clear decision on the winning bid. And this winning bid goes to South Africa, Cape Town, which will host the next World Congress, the 9th World Congress on Conservation Agriculture, on 24 to 27 June 2024. That time, hopefully, as a presential Congress. And I have the pleasure also to be able to hand over the stake of the World Congresses to a representative of our next host, to Dr. Johann Strauss. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Theo.
Theodore. It's a great honor for us to accept this bid, and we trust that the trust that you've put in us will pan out, and that we will be able to really host a wonderful Congress in 2024. I want to take this opportunity to actually congratulate the Swiss for the very well presented Congress, and I know it's very difficult doing it via online services and getting everything to run smoothly. It was well done. We look forward to welcoming you to Cape Town, one of the most beautiful cities in the world, with Table Mountain in the background. You'll see some very good CA work being done here, nice practical visits, and obviously there's more than just the crops to be had in Cape Town. We've got a wonderful history and a lot to see going on walkabouts around the city, and we also hope to present very interesting post-Congress tours for everyone to attend, and then we hope that all 700 and odd people that joined the 8th Congress will pitch up in Cape Town as well. Thank you very much.
We thank you, Johan, and I think we all look forward to enjoying a great Congress in 2024 in Cape Town. I luckily had the chance to visit South Africa, and it's an extraordinary experience. And I'm sure your work on CA is also admirable and will teach us a lot and show us a lot of innovations and how we can boost CA not only in South Africa, but also all around the African continent. And I'm sure that we will have many participants from all the African continent as well. So with this said, I only want to thank again all that contributed to this, also now the members, to the members of the bid committee, and to all who made this Congress a success. And as I said in the beginning, we all believe that it wasn't a success. And saying this, I think only what rests is to wish you a farewell and thank you again for your participation and patience to hear now the final declaration, which was long, but I think it's a document that we all should read carefully in order to take CA forward to the next level and to reach, hopefully the goal set, which is 50% of arable annual cropland. I don't like the term arable. It's annual cropland by 2050, 50%, or the 700 million hectares, and eventually not only in annual crops, but also in many perennial systems. So many thanks and bye-bye from Switzerland.
Bye-bye. Enjoy the field day tomorrow.
Yes, good luck and hope the weather plays a good role.
Yeah, hopefully.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, Johan. Thanks a lot
Bye,
for
Johan.
joining at this last notice.
No worries.
Yeah.